every time I do this, I like forget how to do it. So it's like the
Nice.
first time every time.
That's okay. We're on. We're good.
We're on. How are you today?
I'm good. You said you weren't feeling well?
No, yeah, I caught COVID. Whew. Yeah. Surprise. So I've been having a lot of alone time. Uh,
Yes.
trying to keep this, the kids can't go to school, but
Yes.
I can't be around them. Luckily, my husband's been able to stay home too, but he's vaccinated. So since he's vaccinated and symptom free, he can go back to work. So
Right.
starting this afternoon, I get to navigate all that by myself, but I'm feeling,
Oh no.
I can't smell anything,
That's so weird.
but I can still taste a
Uh-huh.
little bit less. Like I
Okay.
had sour yesterday and it didn't taste sour.
That's the weirdest. Well, at least we get to hang out. I'll be
It's
your company for a little bit.
true. It's true. Like at least we live in a virtual world and we can hang out. So thank you so
Yes.
much for talking to me today. I'm a huge fan. And I was just about to introduce you as the creator of, or the founder of the Create Beautifully Collective, which is just one of your many gifts that you've been sharing with your people. So first, I want you to tell us a little bit about this movement you started, and then I want to talk to you about the power of the morning routine and everything that you see
Yes.
out of this for women, small business owners.
Yes. Okay. Oh, you're so sweet. Okay. And just tell me, like, if you're like, I don't feel well, we need to jump off. Like, I totally understand that.
This is like my only unmasked time because I'm like in the room by myself.
That's good. Oh, okay. Well, Create Beautifully, the name itself came to me like several years ago, actually, it, and I thought it would just kind of be like a lifestyle thing, and then it was in the past maybe like 7 months or so where I was like, I'd like to make it the name of a membership, and I'd been thinking about doing a membership for quite some time. So the idea behind Create Beautifully is just those of us women, entrepreneurs and creatives who want to bring our gifts to the world, who want to create something that wasn't there before, who want to do it with intention, and then like the beautifully part is really to be able to do it with actual beauty. Like I like, branding and things that look really nice. I think, make your office nice, make the world around you nice. But also the beautifully part is just really like with heart and rawness and honesty and authenticity. And so that's kind of where the name came from. And the idea behind it is to really just help women show up for their big dreams. Because I'm one of those women and I've had big dreams for a long time.
Yeah.
And so it's kind of a combo of both inner work and outer work. The little expression that I made up is it's your outer expression of your inner intention. So when we figure out really like what we're here for, what is our purpose, and do work around like, how do I show up? Like, what's in my way? What are the blocks in my way? How do I need to retrain my brain? How do I need to process some things? Like when we start doing more of that, it becomes easier to show up in the outside world. And so I do that through the membership with like tools and training on both outside stuff, branding, and everything that we put out to the world. And then tools to kind of process the inner stuff, and book suggestions and tools, things that I've tried, and guest speakers on. And I'm really excited to just kind of create this space where women can really start to show up and just take more steps to be more and more courageous and live into what they were meant to do.
I love that. I love that. And I love that cyclical, process, that we went through in that workbook,
Yeah.
the inner self to bringing it to the outer self. And then, how it's just this continual process as we grow within ourselves and we discover new things or we change our minds, right?
Yeah.
And so I think, yeah, as someone who works in branding too, just, every you hear the buzzword, authentic and
Yeah.
your own voice and all that stuff. But if you don't know what that is, or you know what it is, but it's trapped inside and you don't know how to make it come out, uh,
Yes.
this process that you've created, this community, really just helps that, become something that can move, which,
Yes. Yeah. The thing is, like, it's not like a new concept,
mm,
but we don't often hear it paired with business.
no.
Right? Like, I mean, that's why people go to therapy, and that's why people do marriage counseling. That's why people do mindset work, right? So that they can go to the next level. But to just be like, oh, we're doing this specifically to show up like this and to bring it into business in like a really conscious way is what I want to do, because we often don't hear it like that. It's normally like you just get in a business course and maybe there's like an hour of like change your mindset, but there's not like there's not like real tools to really help you do that. And then what do you do when you push yourself out there and then it like gets scary and you're like, how do I do that? Like, what do I do now to process that and turn it back into gold?
Right, right. Yeah. I mean, it's usually categorized as this self-care, as this like
Mm-hmm.
thing that we need to do, but we never pull anything tangible from it to plop into our business world.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the things that you've got this amazing freebie, which I hope everybody went ahead and got the freebie on it, because it's more than just like a checklist. I mean, like you really walk us through. Well, you can tell us, but it's about morning routine, right?
Uh-huh.
And the power of having a morning routine as a woman business owner, and just sort of like what you've seen, how it can transform someone, because you've been doing the same morning routine for what, over a year now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Yep. I have to do it this morning after this because I got caught up talking to my husband and some neighbors before this.
Tell us about what you've learned about the importance, of a morning routine.
It was like, I always knew that it was important. Like, I felt like everything that I read from like, the big names and the big successful people and the millionaires, like all that stuff is like, I have a morning routine and I write this down and I do this every morning and I have this habit, this morning routine, this morning practice, like whatever it was just always coming up. And I tried like various things. I would get up and like do headspace meditations. I tried like journal prompts. I tried like a specific like movers and shakers kind of like journal for the morning, and it just like never stuck. And I would wake up and I would get really tired. And it was really like last September, I joined this thing called the Embody Academy, which is by Morgan Day Cecil. And she had this thing called like the wake up routine. And that's pretty much, I've modified it somewhat to just kind of what like works for me. But it was really just like, it was similar where like the three pieces are like, oh yeah, like I'm sure this is done in plenty of places, but this is how it was introduced to me, was this avenue. And it was really like move your body and like just, I don't do a ton, I stretch. You've done it with me. We
Yeah.
just stretch and like just the things that just get tight at night and just kind of waking up pieces of your body and letting letting the energy start to flow. If it gets stuck in your back or your hips or your shoulders, like wherever it gets stuck at night, and like getting the blood flowing a little bit. It's just like 5 minutes or less of stretching. Some people, like to do more in yoga or whatever you want to do first. And then just like settling in with the breath, like just taking it down into some type of breath work. And then I like visualization meditation. I don't just do like the blank mind. I've got to use like some imagination, some visualization in there. And even this conference I was at a couple weeks ago, Mary Hyatt spoke. I don't know if you know her, but she does a lot of like the feminine energy in business.
Mm-hmm.
So she's really cool. And she was like, the three ways that we affect the subconscious are through body, breath, and imagination. And that's exactly what these three things touch on. It's your body, and then your breath, and the imagination. So anytime we can get into the subconscious, because that's what's really running us. That's all that, like, no matter how much we're like, today's going to be so productive, this week is going to be amazing. And then we get there, and that's when your subconscious mind is like, oh, but don't we like to not do stuff? Isn't it fun to procrastinate? Oh, let's do that. Let's keep doing this habit where we think we're going to be productive and then we feel like crap at the end of the day, because that's the script we know to run. Like, that's the program we know to run. So you've got to get into that piece of your brain. And it is through, like, even when I did Tony Robbins Business Mastery, like, he's a master at understanding all of those things. Like, you are constantly moving your body to shake your brain up in a different way, to like change your physiology, to like reprogram. So when we add the body in piece, and then the breath, and then using, and it's in my guide, like I give some suggestions for like starting out imagination work or visualization. You can just imagine yourself in like a beautiful place. You can imagine yourself talking to someone that triggers you, which is really fun. You can imagine yourself talking to like a mentor. You can just imagine yourself just being in nature. You can imagine yourself, achieving all the things you want to achieve. Tony Robbins has some stuff like that. Like, it's all things that I've just gathered over time. That's like, that all of a sudden you realize, like, oh, all these people have been talking about this. This is why it's working. Let's keep doing more of this. And that, like, I love it. And it's really shifted. Like, I think just doing the morning routine, just being like, I'm done, I've got to do it. Adding the body piece in was really big. It, like, because I just went straight from getting up to like journaling, and my body was like, no, we're not ready for this. And it wasn't any fun. So adding the body piece and then understanding why that's so important was really awesome. And so it's shifted. Just a lot of the visualizations and the meditations have been really profound for me. And then just getting up every morning and doing it is like, you start to realize you can keep promises to yourself. Which, when I did a survey in Instagram, I was like, is it easy for you to keep promises to others? And everyone was like, yes, it is. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. And then it was like, is it easy for you to keep promises yourself? And everyone was like,
crickets.
You were like, not really. And when we can't trust ourselves to commit to like creating what we want to create, or giving ourselves a deadline, or setting goals for ourselves, when we're like, I'll say that, but I don't believe it, that's a serious barrier to getting to where we want to go in our business, with our gifts, with our big dreams, So just consistently doing a morning routine is like a safe way to really learn how to keep promises to yourself. Because you're not doing it out on Instagram. You haven't promised the world that you're going to release something. You haven't whatever. So no one's expecting anything of you. It's just you, right? And so you just show up. And if you don't show up for 2 days, then you just come back. And all of a sudden it's like, okay, I can do this thing consistently. I can keep this promise to myself. And then if you're doing those three things, if you're doing those like three things, then you're also affecting your subconscious in positive ways, which is rewriting some of your script. And it's just great. I recommend it.
For someone who's like, morning routines, it just like, especially those of us with kids, or maybe our business is a side hustle, so we're trying to get like rush to get stuff done before we go to our regular job and stuff, one more thing to do in the morning just sounds like terrible. But it doesn't even have to be a thing, like, it doesn't have to be something that's hard. So someone who's just sort of like, okay, I know I need this, I know I want to be able to do this, what are some ways that you would suggest for them to just start? I mean, I know that you said you went through this process where you tried all these things and
Yeah.
it just didn't work for you. And I feel like that's a process that we all have to go through. Be like, because maybe sitting upright in a bed and journaling is totally what works for somebody, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Like, okay, where are some like really easy ways that people could start a morning routine?
I mean, most people probably have it, right? Like with coffee, like, oh, my coffee.
Mhm.
It's my morning routine or whatever. I don't drink coffee, so whatever your like morning drink is. Or if your kids wake you up in the morning and that's how you start your morning, I'm going to highly suggest that you just set your alarm for like 10 minutes before that happens. Like waking up to chaos is not the way you want to start your day.
Well, then you're waking up to someone else's intention and not your own,
Yes.
right?
Yeah. Or the other thing you can do that was actually like my husband's suggestions to me, which is not new, but I was like, why had I not thought of this? It's like, do your morning, blah, 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 and then have a time in the morning hours where you actually start your day. So like all summer I would get up and do my morning routine, and that was nice. But then once we got back to school, and now I have a middle schooler who gets up at 5:30 because she has to get on the bus like less than 90 minutes later. She likes to get up early. It's like, I'm not going to get up at 5 now to start my morning routine. I'm not doing that. So I now I get up. My kids are middle school and elementary school age. They get on the bus. Both of them are gone and off to school by 8:15. I come in, straighten up any dishes I haven't done, whatever. And by 9 o'clock, I restart my day. And that's when I do my morning routine now.
I love that. I love that.
Yeah.
And I think maybe that's one of the hesitations too. It's like I have to do it the first thing as I wake up, and I'm
Right.
and when I started my morning routine, like I started off very, very slow.
Yes, I want to know. Uh-huh.
Mine was to drink water. And so for 10 days, the only thing I added to my entire routine of the day was before I got out of bed, I drank the cup of water that I put on my bedside before I got out of bed. And that was the only thing that I did. And then after I made it 10 days in a row,
Yes.
which, I mean, like drinking water, it's not that hard, right? You should be doing that anyway, but
No,
doing it first
yeah.
thing.
Yep.
Um,
It's really good for you too.
I'd drink water and then I'd get up and I'd do my thing. And then I started adding in the meditation and the stretching. And then I just sort of built in on it one tiny little change,
Yes.
which didn't even require me to learn a new skill. I didn't have to convince myself that I knew how to meditate, which
Right.
meditation is also different for everybody. Like you don't have some Buddhist trance.
Right. Right. You don't.
Imagine yourself talking to somebody, or imagine yourself, I don't know, eating a cake. I don't know. Maybe that would be what I visualized, but
I love it. I love your meditation is like, I'm gonna eat some cake.
happy place.
Even just like ocean waves flowing through you, that's real calming. To picture them inside your body and just shoo, shoo, it's just real nice. That's just an example of something to focus on.
Now you just completed a 2-week kind of grand opening trial of
Sneak peek, yes.
of women, myself included. And one of the things that we did, was that morning routine. And I wanted to know, what is some of the feedback that you got from the women in your trial period about the morning routine? What did they say about it?
You did it. You were in it. What's your feedback?
But I'm you, not me.
Well, I want to know yours too. Everyone really liked it. Everyone really liked it. I mean, there were some people that had done, I think almost everyone had done meditation before, which, that's not new. And then visualization, people had tried that before. But just having the morning routine, and I think possibly too, having, we would kind of talk about it for just a couple minutes afterward, how was it? And just let people kind of process a little bit verbally what came up, just to kind of really connect it. Everyone loved it. There were people that, are still doing it, and the days that they couldn't show up, they would, It was amazing because I didn't ask anybody to let me know if they couldn't make it. And whenever people couldn't make it, I'd get like an email or an Instagram message that was like, I did my morning routine this morning, but I can't be live with you, but I already did it. I was like,
That's
that's so cool.
cool, right?
Yes. And the visualization stuff was great. Like it was people experience what I had, you know, people started to experience like what I had experienced with some of mine, which was just like signs of the next steps or affirmations that where you are right now is where you should be right now. And that was really cool. That's just, it's really grounding for people. It's grounding and it's encouraging. And it was really cool to see that. It was cool, you know, it was an experiment to be like, yeah, everyone, like, is this gonna work? Is everyone gonna, you know I got a cool thing. Are other people gonna get cool things?
Yeah, no, and you asked like what I got out of it. For me, like I like that I started my day, you know, whatever time it was, like that
Mm-hmm.
segment of my day, on purpose instead of
Yeah.
reactionary mode. So instead of just sitting down and seeing what was going to pop up in the email and reacting to that first, I got to choose what I did first.
Mm-hmm.
So felt like for me that it just sort of gets the day off on the right start. Like it's my day, not
Yeah.
a reaction to everybody else's day. It's my day, and I get
Yeah.
from there. So that's why I do it. I like that. I don't know, maybe it's a power thing. I don't think power is the right word. But just control maybe.
It's just taking ownership of your own
Oh no.
stuff, right?
Yeah.
It's like, guess what? I do get to decide my day. And I would like feeling powerful is totally a side effect that I want women to experience.
So tell us about this freebie that you have, because it's not just a checklist. Okay,
Right.
here's your morning routine. First do this. I mean, there's some assessment that you ask us to do in there. So what in this freebie, which is in your bio, so everybody should,
Mhm.
what's included in this?
It's my morning routine. So it's like it's how to do morning routine. It's the benefits of a morning routine. It's checking out like how you feel, you know, gives you a little assessment so you can see progress. And then I go through all three of the phases, which are all those things that affect your subconscious, which is awesome. And I go into like what I normally do. So it's all described step by step. And then for each thing, I'm like, I don't want to think that it's one size fits all. So for each thing, I give like a bunch of other ideas. Like
Yeah,
for the movement section, like here's detailed what I do, but then here's a bunch of ideas that you might want to do. Same with the breath and same with the meditation. And then I talk about fun ways to like make it more of like a ritual kind of, you know, make it a little more purposeful if you want to like light your candle or you know whatever you want to do to make it even feel even more like it's your time, like it's more special, you know.
sacred, sacred part.
Yes, yes, make
Yeah,
it a sacred part of your day,
and
totally.
membership, has it launched open yet?
No, it hasn't. It's coming.
How many, how are you
I'm like
for the members, the women that join? How is the morning routine? What are you doing for them as far as the morning routine?
the when the membership opens. So there will be like an initial 2 week live lead, just like we did. And then there'll be after that, that will probably come back occasionally, like just as like, ooh, fun bonus, like live leads. But it'll definitely be in the initial thing. And then it'll always just be in the membership. So anytime there'll be like a variety of meditations as well as like a guided morning routine. So you can always hit play anytime. Once you start to get to, you know, you get comfortable doing it yourself, you might just be like, I don't need Liza's recording anymore. I'm just going to hit like a playlist and do my version. Um, but that'll be in there. That'll be in there. And then each month is going to have two themes. So there'll be like a theme the first of the month that's going to be like an outer work theme. So whether it's branding or whatever else, I got to talk to you about coming in for one of those, Janelle. And then like in the middle of the month, we'll start like an inner work theme.
Ah, I like it. I like it. And
It's
so
going to be fun.
combination of guest speakers and
Mm-hmm.
work, like kind of independent work. And
Yeah.
I was talking with you too, right? Like you'll be
Yep.
involved as
Yep.
well.
We're going to have some hot seat calls, probably every other week. There'll be a hot seat call. And then one of the biggest things in this particular work, you know, there's all kinds of ways that we can go inward and work on ourselves, but this is particularly to help us show up for our business. So I'm very excited. I haven't told anyone this yet. But I think what we're going to do, because there's so much around the voice, like our voice is our expression, whether I mean, just showing photos is an expression of our voice, right? Typing, you know, our captions are expression of our voice. When we tell someone our prices, we have to use our voice. When we tell someone, no, I don't want to take your project on because it's not for me, that's using our voice, right? So there's going to be a safe space to use your voice and to practice the things that you might want to say or the things that you feel you need to say that maybe don't feel safe yet to say it on the outside. So we're going to get real comfortable using our voices.
I love it. And who is this membership for? Like what women should sign up for the Create Beautifully Collective?
This membership is for any woman who's got big dreams and feels like, why can't I do what everyone else is doing? And it's not what everyone else is doing, but we're just on Instagram and it looks like everyone else is doing it because we only watch the like super successful people, right? So if people are like, God, I know this is meant for me, but I always procrastinate, or I'm so behind, or I can't keep promises to myself, or I can't tell if if I'm actually like have my finger on the pulse of what is for me. Like I just don't know how, or like I feel like I've got it on the inside, but I don't know how to reflect that in my brand or my business. Like just anyone who's just like, I just kind of feel stuck here. And the point of the membership, like it's not expensive. It's like 39 bucks a month. And if you sign up during trial periods, it's 29 bucks a month. And the point is like, I don't think just as I have not had one teacher, I don't think I'm people's sole teacher. So it's really important to me that I introduce people to other teachers and other experts, which is why there's going to be a lot of guest teachers. A lot of guest teachers will be both the outer work and inner work theme guests. And I want people to be able, like, if there's something in there, like this is going to be like a taster of a lot of different stuff. And so people have the opportunity to try a bunch of things. And if something seems to stick, I want people to be able to like financially have the means to be like, I'm going to go dive there. But I would love to be thought of as like come back anytime. Like we'll support you. Like if you're doing a launch right now, it doesn't have to take so much time that like you've got to pick one or the other. It's like do your launch, hop in here for what's stopping you, hop back off and get your launch. Come back in, do a little inner work, hop back off. You know, like just this is here to support. So it's not like, oh, do I do this membership or do I do this other thing? Like the idea here is like just take what you need from here to support you in whatever you're currently working on.
Your resource pool of
Yeah.
energy and
Yeah.
exercise and
Yeah.
community that supports you.
Yeah.
It's here when you need it. I love that.
Yeah.
That 2 weeks was fantastic. You put so much work into it, and you really create this space for women to feel safe and accepted and beautiful. I mean, it's just sort of you show up and you don't have to wonder if you're going to say the right thing, because whatever you say is going to be perfect and accepted. And I loved it. I loved the women that participated too were just so beautiful in their own ways. It was really an uplifting experience. So I'm
It was such a good group. I'm so grateful that you were in there. Like there, like I knew most of the women in it, and I was like, I just felt so honored. I go back and forth between deciding if it's easier to trust someone you don't know or someone you do know. Because sometimes when we know someone, we also know their flaws, and then we kind of get like, can they really help me? Do you know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like we get like, I know them, like, well, she's a brand photographer. Can she really help me here? You know?
Mhm.
And so when there were people that I knew showing up, and so many people who knew me mainly as a brand photographer, I was just like, I was really touched that like people saw me in a different way or were willing to see me in a different way. And I think as women, like that's just such a beautiful gift that we can give each other is to let people show up, let other women show up in all of their gifts, you
Mhm.
know? And
Yeah,
that's what I want to do for others too.
and allow to like allow other women to help us grow. I feel like
Yeah.
sometimes and you get into that comparison game
Yeah.
doing it and I'm not, and and then we get too scared because then we don't want to copy them, and it's this like weird place. So
Yes. Yes. I totally, yeah. I know.
but we have run out of time, but I'm so thankful for you to for taking the time to talk to me today. I hope you have a great time at your morning routine after we
Thank
get
you.
in here. If you have not gotten Liza's morning routine freebie, make sure you go get it. And then there's a wait list for your membership
Yes.
you can sign up for, so you get the first news when it comes out.
It's soon. It's soon. I can't like just being, yes, I haven't set like an exact date, but it's soon in the next several weeks. It's just one of those where like all of a sudden a week will be like a kid is sick or whatever. And I'm like, okay, we're not going to put a date on it. There'll be a date on it when I'm like 2 weeks out. Like that's when there'll be like an actual date.
Yeah, how it goes here too.
Yes.
Yeah, it's about that. World is that way.
Totally. Yes.
Well, thank you so much,
Thank
Liza.
you, Janelle.
And I'll be talking to you soon.
Yay. Thank
Okay.
you. Feel better.
Thank you.
Bye.